Intermittent Fasting Case Study number 2, episode number 99 of the Do Hard Things Today podcast.
I guess 99 means we're a week away from a greatest hits clip show like Seinfeld did and kind of look back through the years.
Yeah, you know, I've gone down some rabbit holes, Jed. On Facebook, there are these maybe, I don't know, Facebook, Instagram or something, but it's these reels where it is like 1 minute of every number one song for every week of 1987.
Oh, that's awesome.
Or 19, and you listen to them. What I have found is I've realized just how powerful Whitney Houston was during that time.
She was a rock star, capital R, capital S.
You know, you hit them where it'll be you'll have one. It'll be like one random song. It's like, oh, I forgot that was even a song. And then Whitney will hit like March the 4th. And then it'll say March 4th, March 11th, Her number ones lasted for 6 or 7 weeks, where the other ones were all 1 week.
Bonnie's favorite birthday gift I've ever gotten her, back when you used to have to make CDs. You could like burn kids. You used to have to burn CDs. Yep. I made her a CD of every number one song on her birthday from birth through 35.
Nice.
So, but you know, now you could do that in about 12 minutes and be done with it.
You know, my son, who's a freshman in college, he was telling me, he started working out, and he told me he made a mixtape.
Nice.
On his,
yeah.
I very quickly corrected him and said, son, you did not make a mixtape. What you made is called a playlist on a digital device.
Right.
We used to have mixtapes that we would really make. That was a real tape that was a mixture of all the things that we would record. And you'd have to hit the play. You remember the play record?
Play and record at the same time.
So,
mostly, if I was dedicated to making the mixtape and I was getting it off the radio, I'd do the play record and then pause.
Yep.
And then you could jump across the bed when you heard it come on and hit the pause button again, and it'd be rolling.
What?
And there were graduations of mixtape. For yourself, it was probably the Maxell pink and yellow. If you were giving it to a girl, you might trot out the TDK gold ones.
Yep.
different blank tapes.
And some people have no idea what we're talking about right now, and some are going down memory lane in this rabbit hole with us.
Some are remembering recording 45s on 2 mixtapes when you had a dual function.
Yes.
Which was, but none of this, nothing we're talking about is about intermittent fasting,
correct.
Which is what so I think you might just be killing time until it's time to eat.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm not in my window yet, so we're just talking about mixtapes. That's what we do.
Well, let's talk about your window and a bunch of other things. You've been doing it for 6 weeks.
Yep.
How's it going?
Man, dude, it is going awesome. It is, and the surprising thing that it's not just, I mean, obviously you do some things like this, and I had some extra pounds I wanted to get rid of, and that has happened, but man, I just feel 1,000 times better. I mean, just overall just feel 1,000 times better. My body has adapted and adjusted to where I don't, we laugh about that, waiting on that window to open. What I have found now is that that window slips up on me now, and sometimes I'm finding myself kind of forcing myself to go ahead and start eating.
Right.
Your body adapts, and it actually starts burning fat for fuel. And I've even really been experimenting with my workouts, where I'm doing these workouts, some of them at lunchtime right around that 12 o'clock time, when I am, I'm almost 18 hours into my fast, and my performance has actually gone up.
Wow.
My runs, I've seen a lot of gains in my runs. Now, some of that is because, I've lost some of those pounds, but I feel really good, and I'm not out there on an hour-long run and feeling like I need to be taking in calories. So there's been a lot of changes, and we'll talk about some of that. But it's going really well 6 weeks in.
Has anything surprised you? What's been the biggest surprise you've seen?
What I just said, the just not being hungry.
Yeah.
Of not reaching that time where, my window starts at 2 o'clock, and I'm doing a 6-hour window now from 2 to 8 is what I'm at. I'm just not hungry. I mean, when I'm coming through the morning and into the traditional lunchtime, I'm just not hungry. And reading things I've seen where that happens, where you get to a point where you're not hungry, and then your body is literally it's using fat stores for fuel, and then other things are going on inside your body. We've talked about autophagy, where your body's kind of cleaning out old cells, old broken cells, and it uses those as fuel as well. And so that's been the biggest surprise for me. Is I felt like I may get into this and be 4 or 5 weeks in and just realize, hey, this is not sustainable. I'm starving all the time, and this that's not been the case.
This far into it, 6 weeks in, 6 weeks is a pretty representative time. What's the biggest benefit that you've seen? Is it the weight loss? Is it the performance? Is it energy? Is it not being hungry? What's the biggest plus for you so far?
I think energy, the word you said, which has manifested itself in several different ways. When I'm in that fasting window, I seem to be much more mentally focused, have more clarity. I know that sounds a little bit quirky, but I had read and listened to some podcasts where they said that is a real benefit of it, that your mind is more clear. That has been something that has been really good. But the energy piece, where I just have a lot more energy, and again, that includes some pretty intense workouts, runs, ride my bike. I'm in a bike trainer doing circuit workouts, those kind of things, where and most of those are going to be at least where I'm at least 12 hours into that fasting window, where there's no available carbohydrates or anything else. All of those things have been digested, and we're rolling. So that energy piece has been the piece. And again, that there has been weight loss as well, but just how much energy and clarity, that mental clarity, that has come during that fasting window.
You are in the middle of the road a couple of days a week for work. Yep. You're all over the place for different outside interests almost all the time. Yep. How do you plan around traveling? Because I know even in your window, I know you, and I know you're not stopping to eat drive-through. So how are you planning around it?
I've got a Yeti cooler.
Yeah.
That not the huge one, but it's bigger than a lunchbox one. And I fix it in the morning. We talked about last podcast, we're talking about bad habits. And so I fix everything I'm going to eat until I'll eat dinner. I'm gone a couple nights a week. I'll be gone, but I try to eat dinner at home with the family. But I will have everything else that I'm eating during that window. I'll have in my cooler. Okay. And I'll eat those things during my window. So I have those things prepared, and it's pretty systematic about it. And again, like I said, there will be times especially when I'm on the road and I'm driving, I'll look up and it's 2:30, and I haven't eaten. I'm not starving. I'll look and say, okay, I need to go ahead and get started. Get my eating started. And so those things, and what I found has been interesting, that food has become, it has changed. My relationship with food has changed. And what I mean by that is, where so much of, especially here, we're in the upstate of South Carolina, you grow up and food is the focal point of all your gatherings. It's a pleasurable thing. My relationship with food has changed, in that I'm starting to see food as, this is nutrition. These are things that helps my body to be able to perform, and helps my overall wellness of what I'm putting in my body. And again, I'll be 50 in May, and so those things become a little bit more real to you. but it has changed to where I don't have these cravings to eat all this bad stuff that, all of us at times want to eat.
A lot of plans have got cheat days factored in. Are you doing any of that?
I will allow myself. What I don't want to do is I don't want to be the guy that goes to a party at night and can't eat because it's 8:30.
Right.
I can't. I'm outside my window. I'm holding my hand up. I don't want to be that guy. So what I do is I just allow myself to use common sense and even if there's sometimes like I've got my oldest daughter's in college. I meet her once a week for breakfast, and I'm not going to go and just sit there and drink black coffee,
right?
With her,
right?
So I will, on that day, I'll eat, and what I'll generally do is when I do that, I will just change up my window that day. So I'll eat with her, and it might be at 8:00 in the morning. Well, I may stop eating at 2 that day, and then just pick up the next day at 2:00 again. So I just use common sense in that, and I'll allow myself to eat, whatever it may be. So if somebody is needing to meet me somewhere, if I'm needing to meet someone for something, I'll go to that place and I'll eat something. Right. And so it has not been I've not put myself on a strict, calorie reduction or, hey, you can't have this or you can only have this. I just use common sense in that.
Have you seen enough benefits to want to do it long term? Are you planning on an extended period?
Oh, I don't plan to stop.
Okay.
I mean, it has been the one thing, and I've tried a lot of stuff over the years. I mean, I've done I'll experiment with just about anything. It's been the one thing that has had the best benefits that I've ever experienced. The energy, the mental clarity, the performance. Like I said, I can go back and track my running and the times on those. They've gotten considerably better over the last 6 weeks. My recovery, the way my body feels, I don't have joint aches, inflammation, which that's what causes your joints to ache. And that's what causes so many problems in our body is inflammation. Those things have gone. And, it's interesting. You read a lot about this stuff, and some of it gets way out there on the edge. But the theory is your body spends so much time digesting food all the time. So it's your body's trying to digest food, it's trying to get that food out to your body. It's trying to determine what's going into fat stores, what's going to your bloodstream, what's being used as energy. And if you're constantly putting food in your body, well, it's always doing that. Well, when you're intermittent fasting and eating in this 6-hour window, well, that other 18 hours, well, once your body stops digesting the food, well, then your stomach and your digestive system is resting, and your body has the theory that you read and that scientists will tell you is, well, now your body's able to do other things, and it starts this regenerative process of repairing broken cells. That autophagy is what that's doing is it's actually eating those broken cells, kind of cleaning up your body, and that's supposed to help you. It's supposed to help you make you feel better. And I can tell you, I'm no scientist and I'm no doctor, and I'm not giving medical advice here, but I can tell you I feel 1,000 times better in 6 weeks than I did when I started this.
If somebody's interested and wants to get started, what do you suggest? Where is a good starting place? Is there a strategy to get started? What would you recommend?
Yeah, most people start the window that most people start. When we say window, we're talking about an eating window and a fasting window. It's how much, what's the time that you eat during the day, and what's the time that you're not taking in any calories during the day. Most people start with a 16-8, where they will fast for 16 hours, and then they will eat all their calories in an 8-hour period. Here's what that does. That allows you to be able to have you're hitting two of those traditional food times. So let's say you wanted to start at 12. You could go from 12 to 8. That way you're going to have that traditional lunch time, and then you're going to have that traditional dinner time as well. Some people will start in the morning. They'll get up in the morning and they will eat breakfast. They may start at 8 or 7. And so, but let's say you start at 8. They will eat from 8 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock. And you're not eating every second of it.
Yeah.
But 8 to 4. 4 o'clock is when you would stop. Then you got 16 hours where you're not eating. I'd say if you're going to experiment with this, to start there, because you will, the first few days, you will have some hunger because your body is having to get used to, wait a minute, where's the food?
Right.
Your stomach's growling. It's like, hey, I'm used to you putting food in me. You think about it, Jed. Most days, what the average person does, especially American, will be first thing you do when you wake up in the morning is you start eating.
Yeah.
And you kind of eat all day long. You've got breakfast. Sometimes you get to lunchtime and it's like, oh, it's 12 o'clock. You're not even really hungry.
Right, but we're going right now.
But it's time to go to lunch, man. And then you snack a little bit during the day. Supper time comes, you eat something for supper. Then sit down, we snack a little bit, eat something right before you go to sleep. So from the time you wake up, the time you're going to sleep, you're putting food in your body. And the only time you're fasting is from the time you lay your head down to the time you wake up. So, your body's got to adapt to this. But if you went to 16-8, where you're not eating for 16 hours a day and you're eating for only 8, that would be pretty manageable. And then let your body tell you what to do. And again, you don't even have to cut anything out to start with. You can continue to eat things that obviously you want to stay away. The more processed stuff, right, sugar, straight up sugar, you can stay away from, obviously the better. But this is one of those things that I think will help. Last podcast, we talked about keystone habits.
Yeah.
For me, this intermittent fasting has been a real keystone habit that has launched. Again, it's changed my relationship with food, where I'm not craving these things. I'm seeing food as, okay, this is fuel for your body.
Right.
These are good things you're putting in your body that are manifesting itself in good ways. That your performance, your clarity, all these things are happening. So I think that if you're going to start, that 16-8 would be a good place to start. And don't overcomplicate it. Just what's going to work the best for you. You know what your life looks like. If lunch and dinner are important to you, maybe choose that 12 to 8 window. If breakfast is something that's very important to you and dinner's not as much, maybe go 8 to 4 and just try it. This is all I would say. Try it and see what happens. It's what I did. And I can tell you, when you ask me about long term, I plan to do this. I would say right now, I would plan to do this for the rest of my life.
And that's a pretty huge endorsement.
Yeah, it is. Hey, and we'll do another one in 6 weeks. That'll we'll be 3 months into it at that point, and see where we are. But right now, that's kind of the direction I'm heading in that. So yeah, I would just say to you, maybe try that 16-8. Just research it. There's a ton of research out there. Look at the different things, and if you feel like this is something that you would like to try, reach out to us. You on our Facebook page, or you can reach me at kevin@dohardthingsaday.com. If you've got a story to tell, we'd love to get your input on it, or if you have any questions about it, send them over. We'll be glad to help you the best we can. And until we're back with you, just remember, if you'll do the hard things today, tomorrow will take care of itself.